Malawi, a country in southern Africa. Most children grow up in poverty. Mbanda, a childcare worker from Thundu, will be following him and his sons. We will also follow childcare worker Hanex and his daughters, who live near Lilongwe, the capital city. They are all involved in the Roger Federer Foundation initiative, which has been made possible thanks to the partnership with Credit Suisse. How will the children develop over the next years? What changes will the country of Malawi see? The jacarandas are in bloom. In Malawi, as all over southern Africa, this is an unmistakable sign of the arrival of spring. Most of the fields have been tilled. The wait for the first rains has begun. In Mbwetu outside Lilongwe, 2 years have passed since the centre was renovated and better equipped. Childcare worker Hanex Kapingasa was, and still is, the person to whom the children most closely relate. Jaynet Kuyeli is the new project coordinator for ActionAid Malawi. Over the past few months, she has paid regular visits to all the centres. Anytime she visits one of the centres, she puts her heart and soul into her work with the children. That is no accident.
I have passion for the children, but I also have a passion for this field because I also have under 5 children myself. So early childhood development starts in my home. It starts in my family, and I make sure that whatever I do at the CBCC, I also do it at home. It starts from home and then it spreads out too. So it's more practical. It's like a way of life for me. It ceases to be work. It's fun for me.
On her visits to Mbwetu, Jaynet Kuyeli will always end up talking about water at some stage. Hanex Kapingasa tells her that no progress has been made in this regard. However, the drinking water for the children is being sterilized using special tablets. The childcare worker brings the project coordinator to the nearby well, where the centre and the villagers get their water. The well is uncovered and the water exposed to dust and contamination. The method of drawing the water is wasting time and energy. Jaynet Kuyeli is not happy about this situation. After all, clean drinking water is a central feature of the Early Childhood Development Project.
We wanted to tap piped water from Mbwetu Primary School to this place, but the water board, the procedure is taking long for us to tap water from there and to bring it down here. But maybe as a solution, maybe I'm just thinking that maybe we can work on that shallow well. We can have that shallow well covered and maybe put a pump so that children should be able to drink safe water while we wait for the tap water to come to the center. Yes.
The concept of childcare in the Mbwetu Centre has significantly improved. The children are now being divided into age groups and are being supported according to their age. Local materials still play an important role. All childcare workers have completed a 2-week training program. For a while, Hanex Kapingasa had stayed away from the centre. He had been sick.
I'm feeling well again. The situation has changed here. We are now looking after more children because the village chief and the people in the area have a better understanding of the concept of early childhood development.
For the first time in 2 years, a vegetable, a local type of spinach, is being used in the kitchen. While preparing the meal, the cooks take the opportunity to catch up on the latest news from their community. The childcare workers have been able to buy spinach and a small portion of fish for the children because they made clever use of the centre's resources.
It is not an everyday occurrence that the children eat maize porridge with vegetables. We received the money to fund this from the church. They rented our assembly room for their meetings. We charged a little less than $1 per day. This allowed us to buy the fish and vegetables. Sometimes we also receive a donation from the village community.
It is hoped that childcare centres will generate their own funds in future. The centre committees have been asked to suggest business ideas and to plant vegetable patches. The centres should be able to offer the children more than just maize porridge.
For this center, they would like to do a poultry business. So soon they will go for a poultry management training, and then we'll give them funds to start up a small capital to start up poultry business, and it will be managed by the CBCC Management Committee. So that as they sell the poultry, they should be able to at least have something to pay the caregivers. Not to pay them necessarily, but just a token of appreciation for the work that they are doing.
In the Nchizi district near Thundu, the sun came up an hour ago. Childcare worker Patrick Mbanda is waiting for the pickup truck that will bring him to Lilongwe. There, in 2 days, he will attend the National Childcare Conference. He's looking forward to his visit, but he would not like to live there.
I prefer to live here. We have enough food here. Other things are, of course, hard to find. We have little else besides food. Only if you are clever and work hard, you can be successful in Lilongwe and make good money.
It is 7 o'clock. Time for Tito to go to school. Patrick Mbanda still hopes that a pickup truck will arrive. However, there is no sign of it that day, and it takes until just before dawn the next morning for it to appear. There is usually just one opportunity every day, generally before daybreak, to travel from Thundu to Nchizi, the capital city of the province. There is no timetable. All you know is you will leave early in the morning. There are no signposted stops either. The truck only stops on request. The journey to the provincial capital of Nchizi takes about an hour. It is now 6 o'clock in the morning. Patrick must change vehicles in Nchizi. From here, the journey continues by one of the minibuses. The minibuses are even stricter. They only leave when they are full. Up to 5 people are squeezed onto each row of seats. The trip from Thundu to Lilongwe costs around $8. By selling peanuts and maize, Patrick Mbanda earns an annual income of less than $300. He can only afford to make this trip once a year. Some 800,000 people live in Malawi's capital city of Lilongwe. The National Childcare Conference runs over 2.5 days. Several hundred childcare workers from all over Malawi attend. Like Patrick Mbanda, many have travelled from remote villages. All the talks deal with some aspect of early childhood development. Anita Kalinde, the Minister for Women and Children, is even among the guests this time.
ActionAid came up with this idea in the comprehensive, there is a provision for a national caregivers conference in the project that we are implementing funded by the Lodja Federal Foundation. And we extended the opportunity to other organizations as well so that they can also bring their caregivers that they are working with so that they can also learn and share with the caregivers that we are working with in the child-based care centers.
The existence of this conference alone proves that the concept of early childhood development is politically established in Malawi. Hanex Kapingasa from the Childcare Center in Mbwetu is hearing many things for the first time. He makes sure not to miss anything. The participants learn a lot, not only from the talks, but more importantly from the exchange with other childcare workers.
Whatever I was doing at the Childcare Center up to now, a new spin has been put on it here. I've heard about things and ideas, particularly in group discussions, that I had never used at the center.
The conference ends with a special song. The participants sing it with particular fervor because it praises the effort made by all childcare workers in Malawi. It is one of the rare moments where the workers celebrate their own achievement, their voluntary and unpaid contribution to the early development of the children of Malawi. Their frustration with a society that rarely shows its appreciation for their effort is forgotten for a while. Next time, what has happened in Thundu since the official opening of the Childcare Center? What is better, local toys or cuddly toys? Dorothy is now in 2nd class. We will show the conditions under which the children in Mbwetu study.